Parenting habits that damage your child's brain without you even knowing. Parents, stop doing this because it is quietly hurting your child's brain. Do you know that love, stress, and simple words at home can literally reshape your child's brain? Every moment, every reaction is wiring how your child will think, feel, and respond for the rest of their lives. Most parents never mean any harm, but some everyday actions are changing their child's brain in ways they don't even realize. Scientists says a child's brain forms a million new neural connections every second in the early years. So that means every tone, touch, or expression from a parent can leave a mark. Now, it could either be a mark for good or a mark for bad, but it is your decision as a parent to decide what kind of mark you will want to leave. This isn't about being a perfect parent, it's about understanding how the brain works. Now, some of these habits from parents that damages their child's brain. Number one, constant shouting or harsh tone. When a parent yells, the child's brain triggers amygdala, the fear center. Cortisol floods the body. Adrenaline spikes. The brain shifts from learning to surviving. Now, repeated exposure reshapes brain pathways. Kids become more reactive, anxious, and hypervigilant. That's why children from loud homes often struggle to focus or calm down. Please, parents, learn to speak firmly but calmly. Connection teaches better than correction. Try connecting with your child instead of always shouting to correct. Now, number two, emotional neglect or limited affection. Food and shelter nurture the body. Affection and attention nurture the brain. When children don't get emotional warmth, the insular and anterior cingulate cortex linked to the empathy and bonding may develop weaker connections. This can lead to emotional numbness and difficulty maintaining relationships. Now, imagine if you have failed this part as a parent. You see, you have already reshaped your child's future, the way your child is going to relate with people, both his or her siblings, both you, the parents. You see how important this number two is? Please give genuine attention to your children. Eye contact, hugs, or empathy releases oxytocin, the bonding chemical, which strengthens emotional wiring. Endeavor to show your children affection. It should not be limited, please. Number three, too much screen time. Bright colors, rapid movements, screens overstimulate dopamine circuits. This rewires the brain to expect constant excitement and reduces patience for real world learning. You see, sometimes you do wonder why your children play so roughly. It is the things that they see on the screen, the things they see on their video games, on the cartoons that they watch. That is why it is really necessary that you limit the time they spend on the screen. Excessive screen exposure before age 5 is linked to delays in language, attention, and creativity. Balance it out. Encourage boredom, outdoor play, and imagination because that's where creativity blooms. So you see, if you also fail in this number three, It dulls your child's brain. Then number 4, comparing children. Oh my God. Our African parents, they are very good in this. And you can be a change. You can make a change. The moment you say, why can't you be like her? Why can't you be like him? The brain hears, I am not enough. Comparison activates the brain pain center, the same areas triggered by physical pain. Over time, children internalize failure and lose the motivation to keep trying. Replace comparison with encouragement, praise, effort, not outcomes. Please. Then number 5, lack of sleep and overscheduling. Sleep is not just a rest, it is brain maintenance. If you watched the video before this, it talked about the brain. It explains something about the brain, how your brain eats itself if you do not give yourself sleep. Now, if that can happen to an adult, how much more your child? Do not allow them be in the sitting room watching movies when they should be sleeping. When they should take a siesta, you allow them playing or playing their video games, arranging their blogs, or many other things. Please make sure your children take enough sleep. Then number 6, dismissing feelings. Oh my God, we are still African parents. We are very good at this. But please, when parents say don't cry or that's nothing, the child learns their emotions are wrong. They feel they are wrong to have such emotions. This suppresses emotional awareness and stunts empathy. So you see, when you shun out the emotional feeling of your child, you're damaging something in there. It gradually shuns the empathy in them. Remember, it is your fault. So please start taking correction today. Then overprotection and no freedom. As parents, we ought to protect our children, but please do not overdo it. When parents shield their kids from everyday struggle, the brain never learns to manage stress independently. That is, that child will depend on you for every damn thing. That is why you do not need to overprotect the child or stop them from any form of freedom. Of course, give them freedom, but keep your eye on them. Parents, parenting isn't a test, it is training the future. Every word, reaction, and choice either builds resilience or reshapes fear. You don't need to be perfect. All you need to do is to be present and aware, learn and relearn. Because the brain of a child is always listening. But the question is, what story are you teaching? Is it to believe about love, safety, and self worth? Is it to be a better adult in the future? Please, let's start to do better as parents today.